nasty DMCA practice, which is stacking several DMCA claims against the same group of URLs. Yes, it exists, and yes, it works, and yes, it's super nasty. And you basically get trapped by the system. So we're going to be talking about how DMCA stacking creates an endless duplicate ticket loop. Difficult to clean up, exhausting to clean up, and sometimes things just don't go properly. So let's explain what this means and why is it so not nice. Basically, this is how it works. This is the graph of it. I want you to have the visual. People just start to submit tons of DMCAs against your one URL, of 10 URLs, 40 URLs, whatever you have. And the URL gets removed from search because Google is like, oh my goodness, these people are stealing. We need to remove them. They're nasty. No, Google, nasty are the attackers, but whatever. This video is not about that. This video is about you clean it up because you do counter notice. And then you're like, good, I managed. It's back in index. Only to discover that 12 hours later, it is gone again because Google acts it on another DMCA claim. And then you clean up that one, if you clean up that one, and another one comes. And I'm talking about this because the frustration is real. I just cleaned up this month client with we had 17, 18, I don't even know how many. And just I clean up one batch and another one came and another one came and another one came and another one came. And I thought, I'm sure I'm not the only one suffering of this, right? My client is not the only one. So let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation, how frustrating this is. That is really happening, but yet that you can actually clean it. Okay, so there is a solution. But let's break it down. Let's break down what things mean. So an attacker, the bad person, files several DMCAs, fake ones, to a real URL. Usually they go after URLs that make you money, right? They are clever. They know exactly what makes money. And these pages disappear from SERPs. Yeah. You recover it. URL is back live. You're happy. And URL is gone again because another DMCA complaint got acted on. And then you start to resubmit to the counter notices, only to discover that Google will tell you, please do not submit previously submitted URLs in future notices. So Google knows that you already have been attacked, that you already recovered. However, they don't know to stop the incoming attacks, but they are stopping you from recovery. This is a problem number one, because Google doesn't have a form for repetitive attacks. You can go through the legal form, you can go through manual review. It is a biatch. I developed a system, luckily, after so many attacks. I have the system how to recover very successfully all of these repetitive attacks. So yeah, there is a system that works. More attacks means more difficult to clean up. I am sure I'm not the only one who figured it out, but if you don't know, that is a problem. And even if you know, more downtime, bigger drops in rankings, of course, because you are gone for half of a month with just like little glitches of few hours being back. Of course your rankings are going. Of course you're losing position 1, 2, 3. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Let's go through what each part of this stacking and exploiting and whatever means. So stacking means submitting several claims at the same time on a short period of time against one same URL or several groups of the same URLs. Usually it's group because taking down just one URL doesn't exist. Of course, they're not going to be acting up on everything if you don't recovering. They're just going to wait there. Programmatic means automation. Most of these things on one end, the attacker are handled through an automation. And as well, you are on the other end, Google end, talking to an AI that is not exactly the smartest AI. And the automation fails because they will just be like, oh no, we already recovered this, or no, we don't have this, or oh yeah, we see the problem, but go through the legal, if you go through legal for them, like, yeah, we see the problem, but go through the counter notice form because that's a counter notice problem. And then you are stuck with duplicate tickets that you either know or don't know how to clean up. And even if you know how to clean them up, it's super annoying because you're starting to have a paranoia. Is this URL gone again? And that is the deadlock. It creates a situation when your URLs are gone. And then the system rejects to recover the same URLs because Google doesn't actually know how to deal with this amount of attacks and does not understand that you are being attacked over and over and over. And then because you're submitting it is not the thing they already recovered. Yet Google keeps acting on all of the fake claims. There is a massive problem with this Google system, okay? Not the first time I'm mentioning, but this system in Google was obviously not properly tested, not for the amounts that we are seeing, and not for the negative SEO effects that is being used for. It's not, they didn't think of it as a weapon it might become, and it actually became. And of course, the standard counter notices are not working, and you are stuck in this endless loop of not being able to lift it because you go through legal forms, sometimes it works, you go through legal forms, sometimes it doesn't. And then, of course, even if you manage to recover it, and this happens like after recovery number 10, it can get stuck. So you get all of these emails saying, yeah, sorry, invalid again. We messed up. You were right. You didn't steal, and we're going to recover you globally because you're a goodie. And then it's not back in index. And usually the index, after getting email that they are recovering it, to being back in index could be anything from 3 hours to 12 hours to 24 hours. Sometimes if the system is overloaded, let's say 36 hours. But if it's not back in index, you know there is a problem. So you can nudge the system a little bit and see, and then it will just tell you we didn't take an action on this because in reality it is lifted, so there is nothing more to lift. And the system is broken. Yet there is another trick how to get it from this place of being, from this nowhere land, let's call it. No man land, right? That's what we call it, no man land. So if it gets there are other tricks. A lot of people try legal forms, a lot of people try manual request through Google Search Console. All of that is, of course, possibility, and all of that could or could not work. If it's going to work, question is the time as well, because I saw a few studies and they took months to recover, weeks to months. So how long are you willing to be down? Question. Let's go to an example, just in case if I wasn't clear enough to explain this. So complainant A, B, and C all attack source X. And you counter complainant A successfully, however, B and C are still there, and you recover one, another one comes to force. And then you're struggling to recover it. You recover that, C comes to force. And it's not 3 of them. I see like 10 plus. After 10 plus, it seems to either slow down or stop. So there is a light in the end of the tunnel. Now, I don't know if Google just is like, okay, I recovered it too many times. I'm not going to take you down anymore. Or if the attackers are like, oh, damn, they are able to recover it. They're not good for me. I'm going to attack someone else. Either or, after 10 consecutive recoveries, it slows down usually. Sometimes it goes to like 14, 15, 16, but with a little bit lower breaks or longer breaks. So keep up the fight, because in the end, you're going to win, okay? You cannot just give up. What people do usually as well is like, I cannot recover, I 301. However, 301 is easy to find, and it's easy to find the next URL to attack, and then the attacks start from over and over and over. So I'm not a huge fan of redirecting. I rather fight it and stop it. I saw a client, getting through these claims, and they get a little bit impatient because, oh my goodness, 12 hours downtime, what can we do? So they redirected the URLs, and all of the tickets were resubmitted again, and we started from scratch. So I prefer a good fight over redirect, because redirect does not really exactly work the way you think it will. Why is this so serious? First of all, you are owner of the content and you're being accused from stealing, which on its own is a very, very nasty and serious thing. Second of all, fake DMCAs are a crime. Just in case somebody doesn't want to hear this, it is a crime. Yet Google still acts upon them because they have to, according to legislation. You are being attacked and you are being damaged. Your visibility is going, your revenue is going. And that's exactly what the attackers want. They are not nice people. They are like, if we do this, is it going to hurt them? Should we not do it? No, they're thinking, is this going to hurt them? Yeah, we should do this. So you are down. If you don't know how to recover repetitive attacks, unfortunately, it is very, very unfortunate. You are going to be gone. If you're using legal forms, they take time. Many times it doesn't get acted on. If you are successful with recoveries, counter notices, every time you recover, you are like, oh, thanks God it worked. And then another attack comes. And then you're just feeling like, oh, again. So it is a lot of things that go here. And as well, Google is not helping us. Google is not sorting this out. Google has no desire to help us. I mean, trust me, I follow up. And I really want to talk about the being stuck between things. So you get an email, your DMCA is lifted, and yet it's not back in index. There is yet another glitch in a Google system. One thing is that we don't have forms for repetitive attacks. Okay, Google did not think of it. But between team A going to team B, meaning lifting DMCAs to going to index, sometimes, let's say 1 in 20, it happens that it gets stuck in that thing. And there is nothing to do. I figured out a trick, because working with DMCAs really pushes you to figure out tricks for every step of the way, because there is no good playbook how to do this. So there is a trick. But if you don't know this trick, it's just stuck there. And then what can you do? You will get email first time, yes, recovered. Second time, do not do this. Because we didn't actually take any copyright on you. True, they didn't, because they already lifted it. There is nothing more to lift. It's just it needs to go to index and it's not going. So what to do? Contact Google for manual review. This is through Google Search Console. Usually takes weeks. Use legal form. Could be days, could be weeks. Sometimes they just close it and dismiss it completely quietly. Then you will not hear back. So many times they will just write you like, oh yeah, we reviewed it. However, this is a copyright claim. So use the copyright form. Use the copyright form. They'll be like, oh no, we didn't take anything on it. Go to legal form. You go to legal form and you just, once again, stuck in an endless cycle. And you can follow up with removal emails. I do this a lot. Sometimes you hear back. You just, sorry, you need to be an annoying person if you want to succeed. But if you open a legal claim or if you are following up, you will get a place to track it, and it will tell you last time we looked into your claim 9 hours ago or 1 hour ago. So there is sort of like comfort in knowing somebody is looking. I really hope you don't experience any of this, but I'm seeing this more and more. The attackers figured out we are able to recover things, so they are stacking these DMCA claims. I think this is going to become even more of a thing. So watch out for it, prepare, ask for help, create a system, monitor. A lot of people think we recover once, never coming back. No, monitor daily. Don't sleep over weekends, really monitor daily. And I really wish this never comes to you, but if there is a help. Thank you for listening.
If you got value from this video and want direct access to us, weekly calls, training, and the latest SEO updates, and a community of people operating at this level, click the link in the description to join the boardroom. We'll see you inside.